Well, the role of innovation in a governance context is you can interpret it in different ways. So the way that from a transition management perspective we think of innovation is in a very broad context. We talk about social innovation. So classically for sort of societal innovation processes you need different types of innovation. For example, technological innovation, you need innovation in lifestyles, you need institutional innovation, and in order to coordinate and organize these innovation processes, but also to create the necessary mental, financial and institutional space for these types of innovations to emerge, my take on it is that we really need a fundamental shift in the way that we think about government and governance. So we really need a fundamental new way of thinking about how to deal with emerging social networks, emerging social innovations, and how they interact with the dominant regimes, as we call it. So historically what you see is that the innovation paradigm is predominantly that the existing institutions, they fund innovation, R&D, and if they're successful and they have a nice fit with the existing structures, then they are adopted, and if they are too radical or too alternative, then they are more or less neglected. And my belief is that for a truly sustainable world, we also need to figure out how radical innovations can be scaled up in a way that they also transform more fundamentally the regime. And this is a very different way of thinking also in terms of governance. It departs from the idea we have a known problem and then we just look for the right solution and then we fix the problem. No, we don't even know what the problem is exactly, so we need to experiment with different ways of framing the problem. We need to experiment with different types of innovations and how they could be interlinked. And then the process of governance becomes much more a process of experimenting, learning by doing, evaluating, reframing, restructuring, experimenting again in a much more continuous process instead of as a project with fixed goals and means.